Good evening and greetings from the land of Don't Say Gay.
Yeah.
As the president of the Metropolitan Nashville Education Association and a proud NEA member, I too want to thank you for the work that you're doing every day to make a difference in the lives of students across this country. How lucky they are to have an educator, caring educator like you to teach and to protect them. Since 2008, Don't Say Gay has been a recurring nightmare for Tennessee students, educators, and LGBT community. It's one of the many battles that we continue to fight because we must. Unfortunately, an expanded version has been introduced again this year and as of yesterday has a House sponsor. This new and improved legislation would require counselors and principals to out students to their parents. However, thanks to activists like George Takei, this is no longer a battle that we are fighting alone. By intervening, and please note, not because he had to, but because he chose to, he has provided a national spotlight on the absurdity and extremely dangerous and devastating effects of this legislation. And for that, Mr. Takei, we as a state say thank you. Adrian Rich provides the following thought. When those who have the power to name and to socially construct reality choose not to see you or hear you, when someone with the authority of a teacher, say, describes the world and you're not in it, there is a moment of psychic disequilibrium as if you looked in the mirror and saw nothing. It takes some strength of soul, and not just individual strength, but collective understanding to resist this void, this non-being into which you are thrust, and to stand up, demanding to be seen and heard. Mr. Takei, thank you for caring and for standing up and using your voice to demand that our LGBTQ students are seen and heard. You, sir, are making a difference by supporting students and saving lives.
Thank you, Stephen, for that introduction. And to help us to understand a little bit more about what George did, I'm going to share a quick video clip. Pay attention to the screens here.
Sometimes the best way to fight hate and discrimination is to make people laugh. That's what one gay rights activist is doing, to show the absurdity of a Tennessee bill that would ban teachers from discussing the fact that some people are gay. The bill's been dubbed the Don't Say Gay bill. It would bar teachers from using materials that discuss homosexuality and would punish teachers who violate the ban with up to 30 days in jail, which is absurd. Opponents of the bill say it would actually increase discrimination and bullying. Enter actor and gay rights activist George Takei, known to many, of course, as Mr. Sulu from Star Trek, including myself. He's come up with a hilarious and devastatingly effective response to the Don't Say Gay bill. Just take a look here.
Anytime you need to say the word gay, you can simply say Takei. For example, you could safely proclaim you are a supporter of Takei marriage. If you're in a more festive mood, you can march in a Takei pride parade. Even homophobic slurs don't seem as hurtful if someone says, "That is so Takei." And around the holidays you can sing, "Don we now our Takei apparel." Thank you. And as they say on the Flintstones, have a Takei old time.
Wow. Hey now. I feel like a kid at his first sci-fi convention being applauded by superheroes, because that's what I'm surrounded by tonight, superheroes. We've heard from many, many superheroes already. Vinny, you are certainly one of them, a leading superhero. And Thomas, you are too, and I share a great deal in common with you because I too noticed that I'm wearing the same suit and tie that I wore on your show. and Michael and Betty and all of you, indeed all of you, the school counselors, you are heroes. You are really heroes in what you're doing. I see you in a superhero costume, tight spandex, bulging muscles pushing out at the seams. But your muscles are the muscles of compassion. Your superhero strength is in your understanding and patience. And your power is in your warm, embracing heart and your great wisdom. We are privileged to have superheroes like you because you are actively not just saying it gets better, you are making it better. I envy the young people today who have heroes like you because I didn't when I was growing up. I grew up in a very turbulent time. Pearl Harbor was bombed, and overnight, American citizens of Japanese ancestry were seen as the enemy simply because we looked like the people that bombed Pearl Harbor. My mother was born in Sacramento. My father was a San Franciscan. My siblings and I were born in Los Angeles. We were Americans, but that didn't count. We looked like the enemy. I grew up confined behind American barbed wire fences, first at a racetrack, Santa Anita racetrack, housed in stables, and then we were sent 2/3 of the way across the country to the swamps of southeastern Arkansas, and then to a cold, windswept, dry lake bed in Northern California, right by the Oregon border. The war ended, and we came back home. But home, our first home, was on Skid Row in downtown Los Angeles. We lost everything during the war. And for me as an 8-year-old, and my siblings, my younger brother was a year younger, my baby sister had turned 5. The most terrorizing part of the internment was coming home. The stench of urine everywhere, on the streets, in the hallways, scary, ugly, smelly, people staggering around. My baby sister said, "Mama, let's go back home." I started public school for the first time, and my teacher kept referring to me as the little Jap boy. That stung. It hurt. But I remained silent. I didn't even tell my parents about it because I knew by that time that they had been profoundly hurt, wounded by the internment experience. And as I reached my teens, I found another thing that set me apart, made me different. The other guys are talking about how Monica was really hot and really getting excited about it. And I thought she was nice. But someone really exciting was Bobby. And I knew I was different, but I didn't want to be. I wanted to be like the rest of the guys. And so I pretended to think that Monica was really hot and exciting. And I played the part. I dated girls, went to the school dances. My most intense acting workshop was growing up as a teenager. And then I wanted to be an actor. I had a lot of training in it already. And I acted my best acting performance was for the rest of my life until that day when the governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger, acted on a historic document. For the first time in the history of the United States, both houses of our state legislature passed a same-sex marriage bill. And all that was required was the signature of our government. And Arnold Schwarzenegger said he's from Hollywood when he campaigned, that he's worked with gays and lesbians. Some of his best friends were gays and lesbians. I thought surely he would sign it. When he vetoed it, my anger and my determination to play a part in making that kind of outrage not happen again had me talk to the press for the first time as a gay person. America is a great country, but it has a lot of dark chapters in our history. And it requires people to be actively engaged in the process to make it better. And tonight, we've heard many, many stories of people who are actively engaged in the process. We are making it a better America. And as a person who grew up without this kind of heroes playing your heroic role, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for all that you're doing. And I'm proud to be able to join you as a teammate in our work to make it a better America, a truer democracy, and a better future for all of us. Thank you very much.